Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
Roman Reigns shared a three-word message on social media ahead of the upcoming episode of WWE Raw. Tonight's show is the final edition of the Red Brand ahead of SummerSlam 2025 this weekend at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. The Tribal Chief will be in action at WWE SummerSlam this weekend in a tag team match. Roman Reigns is scheduled to team up with Jey Uso to battle Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. Ahead of tonight's edition of Raw, Reigns took to Instagram to share a new video featuring backstage footage, and you can check it out in his post below. Reigns confronted Paul Heyman last week on WWE Raw. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed attacked Reigns during the segment, but Jey Uso rushed to the ring to make the save. Seth Rollins is also a part of Paul Heyman's faction, but is out of action due to an injury suffered at Saturday night's main event earlier this month. Rollins also won the men's Money in the Bank ladder match last month and has until June 2026 to cash it in for a title shot. Vince Russo criticizes Roman Reigns' segment on WWE Raw. Former WWE writer Vince Russo recently took the promotion to task following Roman Reigns' promo with Paul Heyman's faction on Raw. Speaking on Sportskeeda Wrestling's Legion of Raw podcast, Russo reacted to Braun Breaker's comments not being in line with Paul Heyman after the Hall of Famer unsuccessfully tried to recruit Reigns to his new faction. He suggested that the performers on the roster did not know what they were doing and that Vince McMahon should be in charge again. Every week, they show us more and more how badly they need Vince McMahon in charge because I'm telling you, bro, the people in charge do not have a clue what they're doing. And these are not pros, these are people wanting to be wrestlers, Russo said. From 2450 onwards. You can check out Russo's comments in the video below. It will be interesting to see if Roman Reigns and Jey Uso can defeat Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed at SummerSlam this weekend. The WWE Universe was left buzzing as Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief himself, took to social media just hours before Monday Night Raw with a cryptic but powerful three-word message. Bloodline runs deep. That was all it took to send fans and insiders alike into a frenzy of speculation. Reigns, who has been absent from regular television appearances since his stunning loss at WrestleMania 40, has largely remained quiet amid the chaos surrounding the Bloodline's ongoing implosion. But with one simple post, Reigns reminded the world that he's always watching, and possibly ready to return. The calm before the storm. Raw was set to feature a huge main event, Jey Uso vs Solo Sikoa, with Paul Heyman teasing a bloodline purification ceremony. Many assumed it was a trap. Heyman's ambiguous role in recent weeks, acting as counsel to both Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu while remaining loyal to Roman Reigns, only made things murkier. But just 2 hours before Raw went live, Roman Reigns posted a black and white photo of his gloved hand gripping the bloodline lei, captioned with the now viral message, "Bloodline runs deep." The WWE locker room was said to be shaken. Backstage reports revealed a flurry of last-minute script adjustments as Triple H and the creative team scrambled to prepare for a possible unannounced return. Bloodline, broken or reborn? The bloodline has fractured in Reigns' absence. Solo Sikoa has assumed a dominant leadership role, flanked by Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and the explosive Jacob Fatu. What began as a mission to cleanse the group of weakness has turned into a campaign of destruction. Jimmy Uso was exiled. Jey Uso defected to Raw. And now rumors swirl that Roman Reigns never authorized this new bloodline at all. With his message, Reigns may be signaling that he's finally stepping in to reclaim his empire. The question on everyone's lips, is Roman Reigns coming to Raw? Jey Uso responds. Minutes after Reigns' post, Jey Uso tweeted back a single emoji, fire emoji. That set off an avalanche of fan theories. Was Jey acknowledging Roman's power? Issuing a challenge? Or does he still carry respect for the man who once called himself the head of the table? When interviewed backstage before his match, Jey was tight-lipped but determined. I seen the post. I felt it. But tonight ain't about Reigns. Tonight's about Solo. And what he did to our family. I'm gonna handle business like a real one. Raw erupts. As Raw kicked off, the commentary team, Corey Graves and Michael Cole, didn't waste a second mentioning Roman's message. Roman Reigns shook the wrestling world with just 3 words, Graves said. And the implications are massive. Bloodline runs deep, Cole echoed. But deep into what? Loyalty? Betrayal? Or war? In the main event, Jey Uso and Solo Sikoa tore each other apart in a brutal, emotionally charged match. Neither man held back. The crowd chanted, "This is family." as every superkick and Samoan drop landed with the weight of betrayal. Paul Heyman stood ringside, visibly sweating, clutching his phone tightly and looking over his shoulder as if expecting someone. And just as Solo seemed ready to finish Jay with a spinning solo onto a steel chair, the lights cut out. The crowd screamed. A single spotlight hit the stage, and from the shadows stepped a man in a black hoodie, his face obscured. Then, he pulled the hood down. Roman Reigns. The arena exploded. The confrontation. Reigns didn't say a word. He walked slowly down the ramp, unflinching as Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga stepped out from the crowd, trying to intercept him. But Reigns stared straight through them. Solo paused mid-assault, staring at his older cousin, unsure whether to fight or fall in line. Reigns climbed the apron and stepped into the ring, locking eyes with Jay. The two stared at each other, the past burning behind their gaze. No words were exchanged. Only the storm of everything they had been through, Hell in a Cell, WrestleMania, the Bloodline Civil War, played out in silence. Then Reigns turned to Solo. "This ain't yours," he finally growled, his voice cold. Solo stepped forward, chest puffed out. The crowd held its breath. Then Reigns said it again, louder. "This ain't yours." He slapped the lei out of Solo's hand. The tension snapped like a wire. Jacob Fatu charged the ring, but Jay superkicked him before he could reach Reigns. A brawl erupted. Roman and Jay stood back to back, fighting off the rest of the new bloodline in a surreal, almost poetic alliance. For one night, the original Usos and the Tribal Chief were united again. Aftermath. What's next? Raw ended in utter chaos, with officials pulling apart the bloodline remnants. Reigns stood tall in the ring, breathing hard, blood on his knuckles. Jay stood beside him, unsure of what came next. Roman turned toward him, looked him in the eye, and said one more thing, this time, not cryptic at all. "This ain't over." He dropped the mic and left, the crowd roaring behind him. Backstage reaction. According to sources backstage, Roman's appearance was kept under wraps from almost everyone. Even some members of the bloodline didn't know he was there until moments before the lights went out. Paul Heyman, when asked for a comment, simply whispered, "The Tribal Chief is always watching." Final thoughts. Roman Reigns' bloodline runs deep message wasn't just a tease, it was a declaration. A warning. A battle cry. After months of silence, after watching his empire splinter and rot, Reigns has returned not to beg or plead, but to take back what's his. But the question remains, will the WWE Universe see a Roman Reigns who seeks to rebuild the family? Or bury it once and for all? One thing is certain, the Bloodline saga is far from finished. In fact, it may have only just begun.